Right then, so we'll start with setup. If we look here now, we can see that thumb now is just going off to the side, as we said. So a bit more kind of down this sort of right side of the shaft as you're looking, as we're looking at the camera on the left side. Okay, so back towards that sort of middle part of your setup. Compare that to kind of that thumb there, where it's a bit more kind of down the grip.
Yeah.
Facing down straight that way, okay? Now, in terms of the setup from that, once we get ourselves kind of grip in there, you can see the thumb was on there. And again, chomp, chomp, they were turned out. These here now, when you thought about it, you can just sort of shuffle them in a little bit. You can see now they get turned a little bit
closer,
there. And in terms of just general posture, although you can't sort of see your back, on the left-hand one, you just look a little bit kind of taller and just in a better position to enable your body to rotate, to move and function, okay? As we swing this golf club back, the right-hand one, because of that hunch posture, you're not able to move so much. The knees and legs start going, and there's your backswing. With a slightly straighter back and more, again, better grip and more freedom to move. There's your backswing. Now, okay, you've moved a little bit off the ball, but you're able to rotate your shoulders a lot more, okay? In time, you'll feel you won't need to use your legs and hips quite so much. So that will then sort of solidify your lower half to start with. They're kind of used to working because they feel they had to. Once you realise they don't need to work as much, you can just do the move with the top off.
Stay perfectly straight.
No. It will move. It'll probably move about that much anyway. But when you've got a better posture, your back can rotate a lot more efficiently anyway. So, as I said, very few things, if anything, in the golf swing is going to stay static and not going to move.
Yeah.
All things are going to move. It's just how much they move for one, and the direction. And when your right foot was out here, the knee would then tend to go this way. With the right foot more kind of this way, the right knee can kind of move round towards target. So when the previous swing was, because of that posture and sort of hunch as you came through, right foot hasn't really moved at all, and a very kind of folding arm, sort of static swing, kind of belt buckle line, kind of aiming out to the right there. Shoulders are kind of turned through, but they would do just because momentum at your arms flinging you around the corner, and he's pretty much sort of flat on the ground where he started. Compare that to this one here now.
Yeah,
that's a bit more of a golf. There's more movement there. He's starting to move. In time, that knee will come around a bit more. That belt buckle will turn around. The shoulders, again, they're always going to move because the club's being attached by the arms and flinging you around. It'd be almost impossible, if not impossible, to keep your shoulders still. They're going to move, okay, because momentum's going to spin you around. But in time, you're going to start moving more efficiently. So if you can practice that kind of right foot move, as we said, I say just anytime you find yourself standing still, you could be just stood there just at home in the kitchen making a cup of tea, or just brushing your teeth or whatever, just get that hip movement, just so you get the feeling. And if you sort of flare the foot out, the knee doesn't want to kind of come in. It's going to be very tight. So getting that feet position correct, which at the moment you've got to think about, which is fine, okay? It's a static move. Yeah. But there'll be time when you're on the golf course or when you go and practice that you'll forget. And then you go back in that sort of flared position on the right-hand side and you'll try to as best you can. And you go, I can't do it. If you then try to do it, you'll try too hard to do something you can't do. You either cause you have an injury or more frustration because the shots get worse. But as we saw from this further backswing, okay, from this further backswing, okay, you got another 15, 20 yards of power. The last three or four, like 115, 118, 118. Okay, so it's going to make a much more efficient swing in terms of distance, and then you won't need to put as much effort into the swing or try and whack it so hard. So ultimately, you can control that club face a bit more rather than trying to batter it as hard as you can because you've got no kind of power being created. Okay, that kind of makes sense. And then so a good sort of setup to start with. Okay, for me, setup is going to be key for any first lesson for everyone. Getting that left hand grip key, getting the right hand to sort of just sit on top there again, nice and loose. A good, tall, straight posture, okay? It doesn't mean stand up. It means kind of more extended with the spine. Almost like someone's pulling your spine and sort of stretching it this way rather than kind of just standing upright. Because if you stand upright, then you can't reach the ground. Now you just bend your knees to get down to the ground, which would be no good to anything, okay? So it's a straighter back that's tipping forward. Rather than the hunch or a rounded off position, okay? And again, when you were hunched, you couldn't move as efficiently, you see? So free up that grip, free up the shoulders and the body movement. We can make a bigger swing, a bigger movement, and then you'll fine strike as you did on the second shot. The first one was a bit different, and the second, third, and fourth were like, wow, that's pretty impressive stuff. To be fair, so and like I say, you got a good hand-eye coordination. You can see that even after your first golf swing you made in the lesson, you can see there's you flinched a little bit, but you can see there's a good strike there. So that was all not going to be in question there. So so get that grip better. get that posture better, practice that lower half and that body rotation, and then when that club gets in your hand there, it just be something that you just start doing more and more naturally, so you'll see swings finishing more like so, rather than sort of the old static on the back foot, which is going to cause that
Didn't
ball
realise
to...
how fat he is. You sure?
The camera adds 10 pounds, don't I? So, yeah. It's always funny, the blokes look at their belly and the women look at their hair. It's all the different combinations.
I
so,
can
yeah.
only look at the one.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, does that make sense then, yeah?
Yeah,
Good
it does,
stuff.
yes, yes.
Brilliant.